Well, we've met again. Charlie Greer podcast. Like, share, subscribe, comment. You want to support the channel? In the description, there's information to do so. Hook it up. Yeah, the sun's out today. I mean, at least it's some sun, you know. Today, Hollywood Babylon. Most people are under the spell of celebrity because someone's on TV or something. That must be the worst fucking people you've ever have done shit that all of them. I mean, from what I've experienced, you can't talent. You'll get laughed out of the. Here's the thing: you want to get successful, learn to sail those sodomite seas. You're gonna do really well doing homosexual favors and shit like that. You're gonna be a damn. How do I know this? Because it happened to me over and over. My last audition, with Facebook, it's like, dude, are you kidding me? The director even snapped. They're so open. Literally, like, dude's pointing at his crotch in front of, and we're in legit like casting place. There's multiple. There must have been 10 people in the room. Executives for Facebook. Yeah, right. They don't even. I mean, from what they don't. They're to say. But it's sad when you think that. I mean, going in on it. Even when I was in my first band, these people, whatever. But it's out there. It's a thing. And nobody wants to talk about it. That letting these weak motherfuckers run your life. Come on. I mean, shit. This week, seeing Matthew McConaughey, like, hey, talk about gun control. Matthew McConaughey, one of the worst actors ever. And I got a Matthew McConaughey story. How can I say this without getting doxxed or banned? So, back in the day, this is like in the 90s, I had an audition for a show called Unsolved Mysteries. And the Unsolved Mysteries was, we recreate unsolved stuff and try to, so they reenact these. They need actors to reenact this certain thing. And mine was, I was playing like a lawyer. And again, you go through hoops. It's not just one audition. You pass that and this, that, so I think it was NBC. And at the time, my agent warned me, like, oh, this guy. Like, what? But she didn't say anything. So, again, I'm off sides. I've memorized this thing. I've been working on it for weeks, and I've got it. I've nailed it. And it was pretty good money, if I remember. So I get in there, and I do my thing. And the first thing he says, like, yeah, I'm hearing something in your voice. From the South, maybe? I was like, yeah, I'm from Tennessee. Wow, that's unfortunate, he said. Unfortunate. Like I picked being who like I could choose where I was born. The next thing he goes, oh, that's unfortunate. The next thing he says is, are you circumcised? And then he starts going, I'm not going to say exactly what else he was saying. Just went down that road of like I was stunned. I'd never had it that bad, that thick, just come at you. And I guess he could see that he was like, oh, yeah, you nailed it. You're perfect for the part. Then he went right back into this, And I literally, I was like, what did you say to me? That's all I said. Trying to just defend my, it literally out of a movement, hits a button, security. Like these guys come in and I get kicked off the fucking lot. Like get your arms up, Stupid. Douchebag. Like, let's mix your weirdo sexuality into my dream. Yeah, that's what I want to do. How did you get where? Oh, I get it. So how does this pertain to me? So I go back to my agent And then she gives me the down low. But I was like, why didn't you tell? Well, I thought you were talented enough. Maybe you wouldn't happen to, no, man, it happens to everybody. And then she told me, like, well, Matthew McConaughey, I got his start through that guy. Maybe he got lucky. So I guess Matthew McConaughey, I get you search up Unsolved Mysteries, Matthew McConaughey. Well, anyway, it's the same people. Maybe he got lucky. Maybe he's talented and he didn't have to do all that fucking shit. Maybe I'm the unlucky one. Hollywood Babylon. Woo, yeah, welcome to Hollywood. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not saying. It's just that, And from what I know is these things, you got to keep that shit up. Maybe not to that one part, but the next guy, they're tossing you right. They know about you. So yeah, I mean, and now this guy's on the White House press talking about gun control. That's where we're at now. Unfortunately, that's where we're at. Like, yeah, we need to change some gun law. I get it. I don't own a gun, man. I don't want guns around me. Guns are, people get shot by their own gun. A lot of people get shot by their own guns, whether they shoot themselves or someone steals their gun and shoots them or takes it from them and boom, Tupac back in the day when he was shot like 6 times, they showed him, and he was going to the recording studio, whatever. He shot himself, I think, all those times. Holding a gun that's cocked, that's loaded, the safety off, and he pulling that, pop, 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 a semi-automatic shit. Gotta be careful. So I don't want guns around me. Yeah, we need guns. No, I'm not anti-gun. And this is in my mind. I kind of on the like everything needs to be kind of tweaked a bit. Everything. Matter of fact, it continually tweaked. But isn't there any like I don't need a peer-reviewed study or a think tank to tell me, but you got to have people around. Like, is Matthew McConaughey the guy that bad actor using his hands? This fucking shit. Go back to what you're good at, man. Or maybe he was told what to do. Look, you're gonna do. Okay, I don't know. Maybe he's the best guy in the world. I mean, I'm not trying to. This is what I'm talking about. Maybe coincide, like maybe it did. I don't know. I just know that this is like literally. I wish I didn't have to censor myself. I mean, it's just horrible. That's why I quit doing it, because I get and crack these. So I get to a certain level, and then oh my god, I'm dealing with like multiple crazy shit that's nothing to do with the entertainment industry, talent, nothing. Then you go by, I did in the art world, music world, by writing my book, script, everything. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the unlucky, unfortunate bastard that just happened to. It just happened to me. No. And again, it's sad, man. It's fucking sad, and people don't talk about it. I get it. You don't want to repeat bad shit, but come on, man. Come on. Everybody knows. And to get to where, in my humble opinion, I should say, everybody that you see, whether it's a musician, an actor, probably whatever, they're doing shit that you wouldn't want to know. I'm not saying I know what it is, but they have side hustles. Believe me, they you have to. Everybody, again, to a certain level, that everybody that I know that was honest would tell me, it's like, what? I've had friends, like when my book was kind of doing, I was promoting my book and stuff, and I'd meet people that were other authors, and they become friends. And you meet people literally like slap stuff together. Like, I want to be an author. That's it. Like, they just slap something to go to Kinko's and print out something, whatever. And bam, they got a publishing deal, got advance money, and you're like, huh? That you what? Yeah. And at first they're like, yeah, look at me. See, I'm so talented. Don't you wish you were? All right. Good for you. And then when it comes to the second book and they're supposed to get their advance, who do they call? Like, get a hold of me. What do you want to fucking talk to me? Well, see, don't come to me. Don't even tell me. I don't know. Pass the buck, man. Don't be dry snitching on. Yeah, they're not giving my money now. They want me to just yeah, wow. How much money did you first time? That ain't enough money. No, yeah. So they get a book deal. First book come out, and the second book never comes out. Whatever, and then they just like destroy that person. Just like erase them, basically. Maybe he didn't understand. And I've also been offered like low-level record contracts that they also wanted me to like be involved with, their little group or whatever. Huh? No. Oh, we'll sign like that, Charlie. Nope. Leave me be. I don't want. If you're already coming at me like that, what's going to happen when we get in the trenches? What's going to happen a year from now? You're going to be all up on mine. Yeah, hey. No, and this had nothing to do with any kind of sexuality. I don't think so. But no. Even in certain other, man, when I was cleaning up and I went to get treatment, it was like there's a little group in there. I mean, it's just like, what? I don't know if it's your IQ, your personality, but why do you have to be in some kind of little like secret group that secretly wants to control? Huh? Can't you operate without covet means? JFK would say. I mean, it's astonishing. It exhausts you. I mean, it worked again. Maybe that's why they do it. I mean, it. I bet if you went right now to like the to any studio, whatever, are there record labels anymore? Who knows? You would not believe. You'd think like, oh, that's the best. These people they don't know. It used to be frustrating, not as much now because I'm not. But back in like my 20s and 30s, I was just like, I was mad and pissed, and because that's all I had to deal with. If it isn't this, it's that, and sometimes it's a threat of violence, or this, this, that. I'm an artist. I'm creative. I need my forget about that. Then you wonder why these people can't, because they've got other. You can't. I mean, as an artist, you have to have certain sensibilities about yourself. You have to be open, creative, and any kind of aggravation or this, that, and they try to mix it into some kind of goulash with you. You're not going to be able to create. I think that's what happens with bands. You'll see these bands, that first album, what, and then they just kind of, what happened to them? Well, their music, because they're dealing with emotionally, probably guilt and depression and what I shouldn't have done. But again, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the unlucky soul that just happened to stumble onto 1,000 fucking situations. Maybe it's me. Maybe Matthew McConaughey is a great actor. I shouldn't be believing my lying eyes, should I? I mean, all the actor, that dude can't even his speak. He needs he's a shy can't break dope. Forget about what he's done. His acting. You mean to tell me there's all the 12 million actor and he's the one? He's the guy. And think about it. It's a small acting pool. Look at these people, man. Another thing, they smell. They smell. I don't care. I don't know what it is. Like, I got money now. I don't even get a bathe. Gross. Just like a turd scented urinal cake or something. Just gross. And I'd be warm when I was a photo editor. They warned me like, hey man, if you go into that press room, why hold your nose? I thought, what? I didn't believe it. I could smell outside of it. I could smell. It smelled like a turd scented urinal cake. Like when you go to a bathroom, it smells like piss and turds and a urinal cake. And it's like, what? All warm and deep kind of. And humidity. It is gross. Celebrities. A ton of celebrities I've been, or not even just been around. It's like, what's that? Oh, it's, what are you doing? Just stupid. I was warned when I went out to, because before I went to LA, I lived in St. Louis, and my script did pretty well. I got nominated. My movie got nominated for a local Emmy. I did a commercial for BC Powder that ran regionally, like in the Midwest. So that opened doors for me. And next thing you know, I'm here, I'm there, I'm at not many production companies in St. Louis, but some of them were big and nice. And I'm this, and I'm meeting with people, and I know it's just like, I remember I was working at my family store, and I was talking to my mother and our crew and family friend. I was like, what the? And they're like, yeah, man, that's what you what? Like, no, yeah, that's what you're gonna have to deal with. And I mean, and one of the client he grew up in LA, in Hollywood, and had inherited a building. So what he did is had an investor come in. They built a parking structure. It was on Sunset. So he moved to St. Louis to live like a king, and that money, hey, St. Louis was cheap back, and so it was smart. Like, yeah, I got a parking structure. When I moved out there, I went and had like dinner with his daughter, and she met some people, and they were cool. But he schooled me. Like right before I left, he's like, hey, I'm going to tell you this is what's going, and this is the thing. He was like, there is a high percentage in like the independent. Back then, there was independent film, a lot of people, but he was like, that 10% is really bad. So when I get to LA, I mean, at first, for one, the casting was all women. They were cool. They looked like Stevie Nicks. They had foresight. You're not good for this. I'll use you for that. And these are all headshots. It's for all the digital. They had fucking stacks of. There'd be like one woman or two women in a room. I mean, boxes, like a little dolly with their boxes for headshot. I mean, they're busy, right? 10, 15 years later, it's the same casting room. Only thing that's changed is the carpet, right? You go in there now, there's like 10 dudes. Caddy and bitching and that. There's not even hardly enough room to do all that. Why do you need all these dudes? And everything's digital and easy. Talking while you're doing like your monologue or whatever it is. So yeah, 10 and not 90 to 10. That 10 is like really bad. Now it's switched. It's like 90-10. There are still good people out, but most of it is just, you don't want to know. Hollywood Babylon. Hollywood Babylon. I always think of that Misfits song. Hollywood Babylon. Do you know who the Misfits are? Look up Misfits Hollywood Babylon. It's good. Here came along. Oh, and Kenneth Anger's documentary, Hollywood Babylon. Watch that. And Kenneth Anger, oh my God. Who I've met a few times back in the day. Not hanging out, I'm in a group of how it is, introduced to him, whatever. He was nice enough to me anyway. I mean, he was kind of, he's got his own thing going on, but yeah, Hollywood Babylon. That watch that documentary, and that was back in the day. I mean, that came out like in the 80s, and he's talking mostly it's old Hollywood, like from the 20s to the 40s, whatever. They there's and supposedly a lot of that's not real, but I don't know. Matter of fact, I love the documentary, but we'd watch it. I read the book. But that's what you gotta brace yourself. You gotta be prepared, because if you're it won't happen. Yeah, it will. It's coming. It's happening. It's already here. Pardon me. And this is not like an excuse. Well, see, it isn't me trying to pass the buck or not take responsibility for my own life, because I'm all about that. And I don't care what you do, man. Let your freak flag fly. I don't give a shit. I don't care, man. Hey, I'll fight for your rights. Fight for your right. I mean, I will. My grandfather, the World War II guys, they were like saying, I mean, I remember saying, like, I don't understand. I don't have to. I don't get people's life, but that's why I fought. I stormed the beaches of Normandy. I mean, you know, they knew this. You have free will. Go live your life. I'm not trying to, you know. And I think it's an attack on the LGBTQ movement because I have family and friends that are LGBT, and they ain't like that. I have family and friends. And none of them. Again, I'm not throwing everybody under the same bus. I mean, I'm not. No, that's what pisses me off about this. They're going after certain groups. They're going after everybody: kids, women, LGBT, under the guise of this other shit. You know, you can't fool everybody all the time. There's going to be some people. No, you can't. I don't care. People need to stand up and speak out. All people are generally, I think, good. It's just a small little, you know, mental health issues. Again, most sociopaths or psychopaths will not admit. In my dumb mind, I thought a sociopath, you'd be able to see and tell, you know, no, they look like long burns and they use language and emotion. And psychopath might just cut everybody, you know, hey, but they're all around. I was watching something the other day and they were saying that the FBI were, they know about like 50 serial killers that are operating today. 50. That's damn near one a state. And if that's what they know, what would they don't know? You know? Ask yourself what Hollywood has done. For one, they eat their own, man. They treat people like, I'm talking about people that like built the, you know, Rudolph Valentino. Huge star before my age. I mean, his funeral stopped traffic. He was the biggest star. They built Paramount from the money. Paramount Studios was built on the back of Valentino, right? So he ends up dead, young, mysterious, whatever. His stomach was bad. I don't know. He's dead. So they're like, well, so before we're going to build him this big old palace in the graveyard, but for now we'll put him in this like temporary wall crypt till we can build. He's still in that wall crypt. What is it, like 100 years later or something? 80 years? I don't know. Long time. And his fans raised the money. It wasn't like he had the money. Why is he still in that? Why doesn't he have one of those? Because they don't give a damn, man. They have to know. It's just, you know, can you imagine? These stories over and over. I mean, come on. Still in the wall crypt. 80, 90 years later. Well, we're getting around to it. We're gonna. Who does that? What other business operates like that? You know? And I think they're independent contractor. They don't pay any health insurance. It's that you're on your own. Granted, if you're making all that money, I mean. Hollywood Babylon. Again, it isn't everybody. And it isn't even the certain people that are getting blamed. We're all getting blamed, man. They're coming after everybody. Again, under the guise of, a lot of times, we're protecting your, you know, rights or your freedoms or your security. Yeah, okay. But I just couldn't get away from, when I first moved to Hollywood, the first house that I had was actually beside Rudolph Valentino Park. That's why I kind of know about Rudolph Valentino, because these fans would be, my yard was next to this park, and he has a busk in this park. So these people walking by, and you find, where is it? And you end up talking to these people. And I went over there. They had like a little, whatever it is, happened to be in the park, and they have like a little tour or whatever. So I just moved there, man. I was there maybe 6 weeks, 2 months in Hollywood, had the house, and somehow we get approached. Hey, we want to rent your house. We'll give you, me and my roommate, we'll give you $350 each a day. We're like, yeah, for 3 days, yeah, we'll do it. Jan Michael Vincent movie. Jan Michael Vincent, she's still alive. I mean, so they have the crew there, and it's legit. I mean, they're shooting a movie. Jan Michael Vincent, like some kind of D-list, B-list, whatever. And so they made my bedroom his holding, meaning his little area he could just escape from. And in my little room, like, they're like, oh, do you want to meet Jan? Like, yeah. So I didn't know they were using my room for, and he didn't steal anything, but it's like, they knock him, okay, Jan, can you come in? He's just doing the worst shit you'd ever think of. And he doesn't even look like himself. Like, who is this? He was cool. I mean, he was not, but it was just like, man, what the, and we got paid. It was all, I'm not going to say what he was doing, but it was bad. And he didn't even stop. He basically didn't even stop. Well, he stood up and I know right that, didn't even give a shit. Like, this is normal to him. And after that, man, I had to clean up my apartment. They left. I'm surprised he didn't burn down. There was all these cigarette left on the windows. I mean, it's all on the windows. So we're like that burns. He was throwing. It was just. I almost got like a new mattress. I was like, man, are you kidding me? Like, threw away the blankets and the sheet. Yeah, just over and over. Like, please make it stop. You can't make it stop. And then there's certain little groups. Like, I came from St. Louis to LA. And I knew people in St. Louis, back and forth. I had a producer back in the, this, that. I had friends that lived in LA from St. Louis, so you end up meeting other people from St. Louis. And then they were like, okay, first it was like, okay, we're only having the St. Louis party. So you can only come if you're from St. Louis, which is like, okay, I get that. And then I go to this party, and it's a nice place in the valley, a big place, barbecue pit, pool. Then you get in there, and then they have this, and these people, some of them are like, working, got good jobs, making movies, whatever. Then they have their little like mindset of like, well, I only work with people from St. Louis. It's like, you're going to box yourself in. I mean, same thing with Champaign-Urbana, where I went to, had a band and went to school there. You get out to LA, and then you just like, hey, Champaign. I think I was wearing a Digits shirt. You just get to be, hey, Same thing. We're having a party. You got to be from Champaign-Urbana, Shampoo Banana. Okay, get there. And the same thing. There's a few executives that are like, I only deal with people that went to U of I or whatever. Really? Like, oh, no, don't talk to me. You brought somebody that's not from Champaign. Like, and when I was in La Mata, one of my band members, I'm not going to mention who he was, but he's from Montreal. Same thing. You got to be from Montreal to go to this party. I didn't go because I'm not. So I kind of get a circle of friends you want to have, but come on, you're going to. And technically, if you're doing business, what you're doing, omitting how much, what population, that's corruption. I mean, come on. I get being from, you want to be around, but it's, and of course you have to turn away so many people that all of these people remember. Then so-and-so sells his script and they're successful. Why didn't he want to talk to me? Well, yeah, I mean, you turned him away. You had your chance, but you wanted somebody from St. Louis or whatever it was. Hollywood Babylon. If you think about going, for one, it's not like it used to be. They've basically torn down all the cool shit. Crime is insane. Rent is outrageous. When I was there, I moved 4 months ago. There was still like cheap cars, cheap guitars on Craigslist, cheap street food, but that was disappearing. And just the crime. It's just on like a expert level. They got it going on, man. Crime is their business, and business is good. I mean, it is. Nowadays, do you even need to go to Hollywood? I mean, there's so many, you can go buy a camera, you just make your own shit. Would anybody, do they still move to Hollywood? Like, I'm getting out of, I'm going to. And also the great artists that I used to meet and be inspired by, like I'm talking about like musicians, actors, artists, wardrobe people, carpentry. It gets, you're just like, wow, I'm blown away. Stuntmen and gone. What I mean, maybe they're still around. Maybe they don't even hire people that are from. But last time I was at Sony, the Culver lot, like the big one in Culver City, you used to be able to park near the thing. Now you can damn near pull straight up. There's no security. Walk in there. It's all reality show production companies in there. Jeff Foxworthy. Hey, ghost town. The commissary wasn't even open. I mean, I was walking like, where is everybody? That was in 2019. Right before the shutdown. So yeah, Hollywood. Maybe you should create your own little Hollywood Babylon wherever you're at. I'll just do that. Again, you don't do you? I mean, I'm under the belief that if you're really doing great stuff, you'll be found. I mean, they signed Prince like 16, 17. Nobody, I mean, it was like 1,000-mile radius of nobody had him. They signed because he was Prince. I mean, if you're good, you're gonna be, it's gonna happen. Be forewarned. Be forewarned. And I love y'all. Be blessed. I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.